The Pac-Man series has a slew of spin-offs since its original release in 1981, some being a success like Miss Pac-Man and Super Pac-Man, others are really not that good like Pac-Attack and Pac-Pal. However, before Pac-Man took its decade-long break in the arcades till 1996, there was one spin-off left in the classic Pac-Man era. That title was Pac-Mania, released in 1987. Personally, I would say this is the best game in the classic Pac-Man series, but something had to happen to cause such a long break. Is it truly as good as I remember it, or was I blinded by nostalgia? I mean, I used to play this game all the time on the Namco Museum for GameCube, so maybe it's actually a terrible game. Pac-Mania was the 10th Pac-Man game in the franchise and utilized the new Namco System 1 arcade board, which allowed the game to give appearance of 3D polygons. Might emphasize the word appearance. The game is still 2D, just laid off to give the image of look of 3D. Imagine Sonic 3D Blast, for example. This gives the game a distinct look and helps it stand out compared to any other game I've reviewed so far. Pac-Mania is another take on the first Pac-Man maze gameplay. No cars, no wood, unless you count Jungly Steps, which is made of wood, but you don't control the wood. You just got your basic pellets, your power pellets, and fruit. But also some new additions like new power-ups. These act like fruit in terms of appearance, spawning under ghost spawners. And the pink power-up, for example, gives you some crazy points eating ghosts, and the green one speeds you up. There's even more additions to the game. Speaking of ghosts, we got 3 new ghosts being added to the main cast. Funky, Spunky, and Sue, which Sue did appear in Miss Pac-Man, but for some reason using Clyde sprite in the game. Here, she's purple and she has her own sprite. But wait, there's more. Pac-Man contains a new ability, an addition that would divide the Pac-Man fandom forever. People still debate if it's game-breaking or not. Brace yourselves. Pac-Man can jump. Sure, he could already jump in Pac-Land, but Pac-Mania, you at least have one person that will walk by while you're playing and go like, whoa, he can jump, because really, not many people play Pac-Land. While it's neat to have the ability to jump across ghosts and get out of sticky situations, the novelty wears thin as 2 ghosts, Spunky and Funky, can jump after a few levels, meaning that your best bet's just to navigate and dodge the ghosts the old school way. That in itself can be actually kinda hard, because in order to have these fancy 3D sprites, a sacrifice had to be made. Thus, the whole screen has a fancy camera angle that makes it impossible to see the whole maze, giving it a boxed-in view. It ain't bad till the ghosts start speeding up around World 3, which, like Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Mania introduces a slew of new mazes split up into worlds. For the later levels, like Jungly Steps, really shows how hard the game can get, and with the combination of fast ghosts and a limited camera view, you're sure going to die a lot. Now, what seems I was nitpicking right there, Pac-Mania is actually really freaking good, like it's almost perfect, besides the camera angle. I love the graphic style, and the ability to jump, while kinda pointless, is a cool addition. It even makes you think, could Pac-Man jump in the previous games, but he chose not to? Maybe as a handicap? Who knows? But what I do know is, the music's really good. The soundtrack. Finally, this is the Pac-Man game where Namco really nailed down the soundtrack. You got tunes like Blocktown, and of course, possibly the most remixed song in Pac-Man history, Pac-Man's Park. Smash Bros. Players, you know what I'm talking about. Both of these songs and many more were introduced in this game. Pac-Mania is truly what I would call a Pac-Man 2. Not only it introduces new mazes and new characters, but has many new mechanics and power-ups that made this game stand out from the rest, and it really made that evolution of the original 1981 gameplay. Definitely the best classic Pac-Man game out there, maybe top 3 Namco arcade games of all time. But still, if the game was this good, but why did Pac-Man take a break from the arcade scene? Well, I think I have an answer. Namco saw people getting on this new trend called video game home consoles. Pac-Mania was released in 1987. At the time we had systems like the Nintendo NES, and sure, while the games looked primitive compared to the arcade, it would lay the foundation of consoles like the Super SNES and the Sega Genesis that would soon surpass arcade quality titles. Namco started releasing a bunch of Pac-Man games on those systems to varying degrees of success. You know, for every Sega Genesis Pac-Mania, we had an Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man. Heck, we even got to see Pac-Man's transition to 3D with the Pac-Man World series. Now, after the rapid transition from arcade to consoles, Pac-Man himself changed a lot. The aforementioned shift to 3D, he got a racing game, he even appeared as a fighter in Tekken vs Street Fighter. And sure, sometimes we would get a traditional Pac-Man game. None of them really hit the mark that Pac-Mania did until 2010. Next time, I will take a look at Pac-Man Championship Edition DX for the final video in the month of Pac-Man. And if I had to rate the games, number 1, it'll be Pac-Mania. You guys really need to check it out. It doesn't have that many ports that are arcade perfect, but at least get the collection on Steam, the Pac-Man Museum collection, and you try it on there. Then we got Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Land, Pac-N-Pal, then Pac-Attack. In fact, all these games you can find on Steam in one form or another, mainly the Pac-Man Museum collection. If you guys enjoyed this review and are new to the channel, subscribe and get you notified when the final review in the month of Pac-Man will come out. I have social media links and a Let's Play channel down below in the description. And if you really want to help me out, I have a Patreon you can donate to. Anyhow, I am Cybershroom, and as always, I hope you have a good one.